Now, as we have discussed the type of radiation or the environmental pollution by radiation and the type of action, let us show the effects of radiation on oral tissue, and this is important point for the dentist. Can affect as follow. I can show the effect as follow. A mucositis can make a secondary infection by Candida albicans. I mean, the exposure to the radiation help in developing a secondary infection by Candida albicans, making a mucositis. Test acuity decreasing during the course of radiation therapy. During the radiation therapy, the test acuity decrease usually. C. Affect the salivary gland by showing some reduces in salivary flow, led to dry mouth, what we call it xerostomia, which causes a difficult in swallow. D or 4, teeth affect the teeth when the individual exposed to therapeutic radiation during their affect the according to the doses, the teeth is affected during their development, their growth, affect the growth, may be severely retarded, which we call tooth bud may be destroyed, or causing a rampant caries may occur in patient who received radiation therapy. Also, the radiation can affect the bone, using an infection, and necrosis may occur following irradiation. What we call it, we call it osteoradionecrosis. Now let us come to the water pollution. We discuss the air pollution as the sources and prevention. Let us come to water pollution, and also this is the important matter for the community. Water and water purification is very important. So this stage comes under the number 1, storage. Water is usually drawn from the sources and stored in the reservoir. As a result of storage, natural purification will take place by air and the sun. Weather should not be stored more than 14 days. Along this long time, the water exposed to the sun, to the heat of the sun, to the rays of the sun, and air. Number 2, filtration. This is the storage. During the storage of water, the water passed to some sorts of filtration as regard to exposure to air and sun. Number 2, filtration. About 99% of bacteria and ova and cysts are removed by this process, by filtration, mechanical filtration. Number 3, chlorination. Add chlorine. It is done along with filtration, along the filtration, we usually add chlorine, which can kill pathogenic bacteria, but it has no effect on viruses and the spores, only kill the bacteria, and this must be according to the certain concentration. Now, after air pollution and water pollution, let us come to another important one, pollution by noise, which noise is defined as unwanted sound or as wrong sound. Unwanted sound, it is better to understand it when the human being became unsafe, unstable, was wrong sound in wrong place and wrong time. The effect of noise exposure of two type usually comes, and the first one, auditory effect, affects the hearing system, causing a sort of fatigue and deafness, and this deafness could be temporary or permanent. Usually affect the eighth nerve and cochlear nerve, leading to either temporary effect, auditory effect, or permanent effect. Number two, non-auditory effects. So the first one is auditory effect. Belong to hearing loss, whether temporary loss or permanent loss. Secondly, non-auditory, it is not belong to the hearing system, which is either being interference with the speech. The person cannot speak quickly and easily and quiet when there is a noise behind him or inside the noise effect. B, efficiency. Any individual when exposed to continuous noise cannot do his work and cannot having his quiet life can greatly affect efficiency. He is not affect the efficiency. C, physiological change. Usually the physiological change, the noise affects the physiological pattern of systems of the individual, as increasing blood pressure, increasing intracranial pressure, increase in heart rate. Heart rate could be increased, blood pressure could increase, the intracranial pressure could increase in heart rate, and the breathing also increase, interference also with sleep, and increase tension. Now, let us do more serious point and how we control this noise and to prevent the deleterious effect on a human being. We call it noise control. Control noise source. We have to control the source of noise, either by segregation, the noisy machine, or application of noisy reducers to machine, or change the machine with another less noise. Number two, control of transmission. We have to prevent the transmission of noise from any machine or any source by covering the room wall with sound absorbing materials. Number three, protection of exposed person. The hearing protection is recommended for all workers who are considered consistently exposed to noise, like use of earplug or ear muff. At the other point is legislation and education. We have to make some rule and legislation to prevent high noise, very excessive noise, and to educate people when they are exposed to high, very excessive noise, how to prevent themselves. إلى هذا الحد أعزائنا الطلبة يكون قد انتهينا من موضوع صحة البيئة وتلوث البيئة والعناصر التي تتلوث بها، وكيف نحافظ أو كيف نقي الإنسان من هذه العوامل التي تؤثر عليه، وتكون حتى يعني نكون في بيئة أصح وأسعد. ونلقاكم إن شاء الله على خير بالمحاضرة القادمة.